June is the time of the year where we expect loads of announcements about new games coming our way with Summer Game Fest and Steam Next Fest coming up, but it doesn't mean it's not going to be stuffed with great games coming our way across all the different platforms. So here's 10 of the best games that I believe you will all love to play this month.
It all started after dinner.
Come on, Ash, get to the good part.
Calm down, it has to start somewhere.
Fine.
Now, where were we?
Ashina the Red Witch is a 2D horror puzzle adventure, and from the start of the trailers you can feel there is a great energy for these games. The titular character Ashina must travel in a sprite world to save her sister and return home. Along the way you can talk to some, well, rather unique looking characters to really delve into the lore of the game. And some good news for the fans of the Death Stranger. We will be seeing some returning characters from My Big Sister on top of some original characters for the game. Can't wait to see what unfolds in this story, and we get to experience it on the 4th of June. Skeleton Crew is going to be one for you and your friends, aptly described as a gothic multiplayer platform brawler. You can also play through the story on your own, so not to worry if you don't want to assemble a team. Either way, this is going to be an absolute treat. Play as the Yeoman Eldritch Extermination team, which are tasked with exterminating the hordes of chaos and saving the human race. The combat looks absolutely fantastic. On top of a range of hack and slashing, magic spells and ranged weapons, you can pick up and kick nearly anything on the floor to launch it at your enemy to stun them, or even finish them off. Pots, wood, boulders, helmets, brains, you name it, you can pick it up. Oh, and you can throw each other as well. The more I'm speaking about this game, I'm falling in love with the idea of it. There are 12 playable characters that you can unlock. I'm not actually sure whether these are through the main story or whether they will be through the side missions or rooms off beaten path, but either way each will have unique spells and attacks and all are upgradable. On top of this there are also magic scrolls, potions, weapons amongst other things to find to upgrade your arsenal. We'll be able to travel to Carpathia and save the human race on the 16th of June. Postal Brain Damage is a spin-off of Running with Scissors cult game series, Postal. This time taking you away from paradise and sends you into the deranged mind of the postal man himself, where you cause carnage in what looks like hospitals, spiraling streets and demonic dungeons, with throwback graphics and fast-paced modernized gameplay. Despite the change in gameplay, Brain Damage is still said to stay true to Postal's trademark tone and humour, so long-term fans no need to worry there, but it does say that the game will make the Postalverse even more effed up. I guess we'll find out what that means on the 6th of June. Madshot will make you feel like an absolute boss. This action-packed 2D roguelite shooter will have you acrobatically jumping and swinging across a range of procedurally generated maps as you shoot your way to collect blood money to make your way through the pits of Cthulhu, to take on some really fun and challenging bosses. The boss we got to face in the demo was a really great introduction and can only promise even more great bosses to come in the future. The enemies provide enough of a threat, leaving dangers everywhere around you, some leaving poisonous puddles on the floor while you have to deal with the flying enemies of various shapes and sizes, and even skills. It definitely leads to a chaotic experience, and you must wait your opportunity to escape an ever increasingly crowded area. The environment can be engaged with chains and ropes to swing around to get extra airtime, pots and other magical throwables laying around to deal that extra damage or inflict the enemies with a curse. You can upgrade your octopus-headed friend with some magical spells, you can get yourself a magical sword that follows you around hitting enemies, and even octopus hands that seemingly punch enemies that surround you. Madshot will be coming to Steam Early Access this month, and I feel this will keep you entertained for absolutely hours, especially for those roguelike and roguelite fans. When I first stumbled upon this game, I instantly fell in love with its cutesy pixel art and knew it needed to be in this list. Dadish sends you on a mission to find your children who are close to becoming radish soup after going on a suspicious field trip. Along the way you come across a range of demonic vegetables and some other delicious villains in some beautifully designed levels. On top of that, you can ride a dolphin, underwater, and a tomato. How can you not want this game? It's been described as having kind of funny dialogue, and just from the colourful pixels alone, you get a real joyful kind of vibe. But I do feel there is going to be some more serious topics discussed about the troubles of parenthood, and you even get to meet Dadish's estranged wife. This incredible looking platform puzzler will be hitting, well, every console, including mobile, on the 15th of June. Now I know some of you may question whether this is an indie title, but it looks great, so it's going in the list. Based on the popular anime Overlord, this Metroidvania puts you in the shoes of Clementine, who has suffered with amnesia. Forgetting her powers and losing her weapons, you'll need to explore every inch of the Great Tomb of NAZARICK, using her incredible parkour skill. In the tomb you can find a number of weapons that can be upgraded to exploit enemy weaknesses and upgrade her magic to unlock new areas of the map. I believe this is another story chapter of the Overlord series, so if this is canon, I'm a big fan of this, as I love series that span across medias to create a really engaging world. If you're a fan of Metroidvania and or the Overlord series, this will be hitting online stores on the 16th of June. Inspired by bullet hell shooters such as Quake and Doom 64, Project Warlock 2 is definitely going to take us for a trip down memory lane. You get to fight your way through 3 explosive chapters which will be sure to get the adrenaline pumping. There are 3 characters to choose from, each with their own weapon and magic powers, so there's a character for everyone. I imagine each also have their own hindrances as well, so do take this into consideration before rushing in, as the enemies do look like a handful, ranging from swarms of demons to the heavy hitting trolls which look fresh from the caves of Moria. Warlock 2 also introduces saves which were absent in the first game. This only makes sense as the 30 levels are now 10 times larger than the original. Upgrading weapons can also help you on your mission of revenge against your previous Warlock master. What I really like though is that each of the 3 characters has a unique reason for their revenge, so there's definitely some replay value to this game. Project Warlock 2 will be coming to Steam Early Access later this month. Card Shark is a rather unique game and we shouldn't expect anything less from Devolver. Starting off as a waiter in a tavern, you soon find yourself swindling the aristocrats of France after getting caught in some rather unfortunate series of events. On your travels you learn a range of card tricks to help achieve your dreams of riches and freedom. This does mean that Card Shark requires a lot of patience and one hell of a good memory. You need to remember what cards have been selected, various signals, your opponent's hand, as well as a number of quick time action sequences. But not to worry, there is a nice little reminder section by pressing the back or menu button, which reminds you of the techniques, but not exactly what buttons to hit. You also best be good under pressure as you have certain time limit to complete several turns of the game before your victim becomes suspicious of your actions. There are 3 different difficulty settings which can be changed in the in-game menu, so not to worry if you're struggling with certain games. In between learning to become the ultimate cheat, you can enjoy a very dramatic story set in France in the 18th century as you make your way up the ladders of riches. I'm a huge fan of the artwork and animation in this game, they blend so beautifully well together. I tell you what though, we're going to see a massive improvement in multitasking after the 2nd of June, as you have to memorise the cards whilst also pouring the perfect glass of wine. I'll never forget the feeling of playing Limbo with its monochromatic charm, challenging puzzles and fantastic environmental storytelling. For fans of these 2D side-scroller puzzles, we've got another great addition to add to your libraries this month. Spiral Circus's Silt amplifies the horror and mystery of the depths of the ocean, making you feel trapped and unnerved. The hand-drawn environment is absolutely stunning. The way it utilises its monochromatic palette to hide some of the hidden mysteries and horrors is absolutely fantastic. Amongst the harsh rocks, organic and diverse plant life, and what seems like the remnants of machinery, there are many threats hidden in its 2D background. Not everything is a threat. Some can be possessed to help with the puzzles and deal with the bigger fish. But in the latest trailers we did get a look at what looks like one of the bosses. Can't quite decide whether he's a mix of organic and machinery or just a machine, but either way this has definitely got me excited for the game's release on the 1st of June. Souldiers is a Metroidvania that brings us some smooth stamina based Souls-like combat and some gorgeous 16-bit pixel art. There are 3 classes to choose from, which are essentially warrior, mage and archer, each with their own unique upgrades that can further personalise your combat style. Along the way you'll find artifacts that I can only imagine give you the extra power to help defeat your enemies. The sprawling hand-drawn Metroidvania world looks like it's going to provide plenty of environmental puzzles and varied environments to explore. But I have to make a special mention here. The enemy character design is absolutely fantastic. I can already feel they're going to be an absolute handful to deal with. A lot of these enemies are also based off creatures from various mythologies, so the excitement level for me is rising for this. We can experience this on the 4th of June. So that's a wrap for my list this month. I'd love to know what you thought. Let me know in the comments if there's anything you changed or what you're most excited for this month. Don't forget we can expect a load of indie game announcements coming soon, with Summer Game Fest and the Steam Next Fest taking place very soon. If you'd like to keep up to date with the indie world and any announcements, don't forget to hit that sub button and ring the bell for notifications on brand new videos. Once again, thank you very much for watching, deeply appreciate it, and I'll catch you very shortly.